Welcome back to my channel. Today we explore the value of specific coins, the 1956 penny in dirty condition. If you've got an old 1956 wheat penny lying around, you might be surprised at what it could be worth in today's market. The Lincoln wheat penny was minted from 1909 to 1958. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the iconic wheat ears on the reverse side symbolize prosperity, while the obverse side features Abraham Lincoln. By 1956, the wheat penny series was nearing its end, but these pennies were still minted in large quantities. In 1956 alone, over 1 billion pennies were minted at the Philadelphia and Denver mints. So these pennies aren't exactly rare in terms of circulation numbers. However, that doesn't mean every 1956 penny is without value. So, what affects the value of a 1956 wheat penny? Well, there are several factors to consider: condition, mint mark, rarity, and of course collector demand. Typically, the cleaner and more pristine a coin is, the higher its value. But even dirty coins can hold some surprising value, depending on other factors. Condition is often the biggest factor. If your 1956 penny is in dirty or poor condition, it likely won't fetch the same price as one in mint state. However, this doesn't mean it's worthless, especially if it has unique characteristics like a rare error or a special mint mark. Now, let's talk about dirty or circulated pennies. These are coins that have been used for decades and show signs of wear, tarnish, or corrosion. While a coin in this condition won't be worth as much as a brilliant uncirculated coin, collectors may still pay a premium if it has historical or numismatic significance. A 1956 Lincoln penny in dirty condition usually falls into the good to fine grade category, which still gives it value as a collectible. But how much value that depends on several factors. In today's market, dirty or well-worn 1956 Lincoln wheat pennies typically sell for around 3 to 10 cents each. These coins are often sold in bulk by weight or as part of large collections. However, if your dirty 1956 penny has an interesting mint mark like the D for Denver, or a rare error, its value could be much higher. Standard 1956 wheat penny with a D mint mark in dirty condition could fetch around 10 to 50 cents, depending on its level of wear. But if you happen to have a rare error coin, like a double die or a misprint, even in dirty condition, it could be worth several dollars or more. While these coins aren't going to make you rich, it's always worth checking the details. Even a penny that looks like it's been through the ringer could hold some extra value if it's unique. So, to sum it all up, a dirty 1956 Lincoln wheat penny is typically worth a few cents, but certain factors like mint marks, errors, and collector demand can boost its value. If you're ever in doubt, it's worth taking a closer look. That small penny in your pocket change could be worth more than you think. Up the 1998 Washington quarter dollar with a large date and a P mint mark, but we're not talking about a pristine, uncirculated coin here. We're diving into the value of this coin in full bad condition, so if you've got one that's a little worse for wear and are curious about what it's worth, stick around. The Washington quarter is one of the most iconic coins in US. Currency first minted in 1932 to celebrate George Washington's 200th birthday, this design by John Flanagan features a profile of Washington on the obverse, and on the reverse you'll find a majestic eagle with outstretched wings. The design remained consistent until 1999, when the 50-state quarters program began. So what makes the 1998 Washington quarter significant? Well, this coin was minted in the last year of the traditional Washington quarter design, just before the 50-state quarters series started in 1999, and when it comes to mint marks, the P indicates that it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which is one of the primary mints responsible for producing US coins. Then, now the coin we're focusing on today is in full bad condition. What do we mean by full bad? This refers to a coin that has seen extensive wear and tear. Maybe it's been in circulation for decades. Exposed to the elements or damaged in some way, you'll likely see heavy scratches, surface wear, discoloration, and a loss of finer details on both the obverse and reverse. So, what's the value of a 1998 Washington quarter with a large date and a P mint mark in full bad condition in today's market? Unfortunately, coins in this condition are typically valued at or just above their face value. In this case, that means the coin is worth $980,000 its face value, unless there's something highly unusual or rare about it. You might wonder why that's the case. Well, coins in poor or bad condition lose much of their collectible appeal because most collectors and numismatists seek coins with minimal wear, strong detail, and original luster unless the coin has an error, rare variety, or is made of precious metals. Coins in bad condition don't fetch much higher than face value. For the 1998 Washington quarter with P mint mark, it's not made of silver or any precious metals. By 1965, the U.S. Mint had stopped using silver in quarters, transitioning to a copper-nickel-clad composition, so there's no intrinsic metal value beyond the copper and nickel content, which isn't significant enough to raise its value beyond face value. Now, if this 1998 quarter were in uncirculated condition, the value would be slightly higher, usually between $1 and $3, depending on the specific grade. But in full bad condition, you're essentially looking at a coin that's worth spending in everyday transactions. It doesn't hold any significant collector value unless it has an unusual error like a double die, off-center strike, or some other minting anomaly. If you're holding onto a 1998 Washington quarter with a large date and P mint mark in bad condition. Next up, the Lincoln Wheat Penny. Specifically, we'll be talking about the 1911 edition and its value in today's market. So sit tight, hit that like button, and let's get into it. The Lincoln Wheat Penny, often called the Wheat Cent, was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner, this penny was the first U.S. coin to feature a portrait of an actual person. Until then, Lady Liberty had always been the face of American currency. 1911 was an interesting year for the United States. William Howard Taft was in the White House. The first Indianapolis 500 race took place, and Americans were slowly transitioning from horse-drawn carriages to automobiles. Amidst all these changes, the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco produced the 1911 Lincoln Wheat Penny. Fine condition, or F12, is a grade given to coins that have moderate wear but retain the major details of their design. The wheat stalks on the reverse side of the coin should still be visible, and Lincoln's features on the obverse side should be well defined, although there might be some wear on his hair and face. The value of any coin depends on factors like rarity, demand, and of course condition. The 1911 Lincoln Wheat Penny was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The mint mark on the coin can significantly impact its value. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 100 million of these pennies, making it the most common version. In fine condition, this coin can range from $5,000 to $10,000 in today's market. The Denver Mint produced about 12 million pennies in 1911. While rarer than the Philadelphia version, it's still relatively common among collectors. In fine condition, expect to see prices between $10,000 to $20,000. Now here's where things get interesting. The San Francisco Mint only produced about 4 million pennies in 1911, making this the rarest of the 3. In fine condition, the 1911 Lincoln Wheat Penny can fetch anywhere from $20,000 to $35,000 if you're lucky enough to have one in higher grades. The value can soar into the hundreds or even thousands of dollars. The scarcity of the 1911 penny makes it highly sought after among collectors, especially those who are looking to complete their Lincoln Wheat Penny collection. This scarcity, combined with the historical significance of the coin, contributes to its higher market value. But remember, the actual price you can get for a coin can vary depending on where you sell it and the demand at the time. Coins sold at auction or to serious collectors may fetch higher prices than those sold to a casual buyer or dealer. So if you come across a 1911 penny in your collection, take a closer look, check the condition, see if there's a mint mark, and consider getting it professionally graded. You never know, you might have a valuable piece of history right in your hands. Coins like the 1911 Lincoln Wheat Penny are more than just currency. They're windows into the past, pieces of history that have been passed down through generations. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting, finding a coin like this can be a thrilling experience. Next up, the 1985 Washington quarter dollar with a large date and a P mint mark, specifically in fine condition. If you've got one of these in your collection or are just curious about its value, you're in the right place. Let's explore what makes this coin unique and what it's worth in today's market. The Washington quarter, designed by John Flanagan, has been a staple of U.S. coinage since 1932. It commemorates George Washington's 200th birthday and features his profile on the obverse, while the reverse showcases an eagle. The design remained unchanged until 1999, making it a familiar and beloved coin among collectors. For the 1985 issue, the coin features a large date variant. This is a subtle but noticeable feature where the digits in the year are larger compared to the small date version. Collectors often look for these small variations as they can affect the coin's value and collectability. The P Mint mark on this coin indicates that it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Unlike some other mint marks, the Philadelphia Mint did not use a mint mark on its coins before 1980, but starting in 1980, the P Mint mark was used to denote coins produced there. Now let's talk about the coin's condition. The 1985 Washington quarter we're discussing is in fine condition. Coins in fine condition exhibit moderate wear but retain a significant amount of detail. You'll still see clear design elements, though some high points might be slightly worn for the Washington quarter. This means that Washington's profile and the eagle's details are discernible but with visible wear. So what's the value of a 1985 Washington quarter with a large date and P Mint mark in fine condition in today's market? Generally, this coin is valued between $1.50 and $3. The exact value can vary based on factors like the coin's exact grade within the fine condition range and current market demand. To get a more accurate assessment, it's always a good idea to check recent auction results or consult with a reputable coin dealer. Factors such as collector interest and market trends can affect the value of even common coins like the 1985 Washington quarter. For those who collect coins, not just for their value but for their historical and aesthetic significance, the 1985 Washington quarter is a nice piece to have. It represents a key year in the series and offers a glimpse into U.S. minting practices of the 1980s. In summary, the 1985 Washington quarter dollar with a large date and P Mint mark in fine condition typically holds a value between $2.50 and $5. It's a great example of modern U.S. coinage and a nice addition to any collection. That's all for today's exploration of the 1985 Washington quarter in fine condition. Next up, the Lincoln wheat penny from 1934, one that has intrigued collectors for decades. The Lincoln wheat penny, minted from 1909 to 1958, is a beloved staple in coin collecting. While many dates and variations hold significant value today, we're zeroing in on the 1934 wheat penny in extra fine condition. How valuable is it in today's market? Let's find out. Before we get into the specifics of value, let's take a step back and look at the history of this coin. The year 1934 was right in the middle of the Great Depression, a time of economic hardship and uncertainty. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 219 million wheat pennies that year. With such a large mintage, you might be wondering why a 1934 penny in extra fine condition holds any value at all. It all comes down to condition. A coin's value is heavily influenced by its grade or condition. For a 1934 Lincoln wheat penny, extra fine condition means that the coin shows light wear on the high points but retains a significant amount of detail. To achieve an XF grade, the lines of Lincoln's cheek and jaw must still be distinct, and the reverse wheat stalks should exhibit clear definition. So what is a 1934 Lincoln wheat penny in extra fine condition worth today? The value can vary depending on several factors, including the market demand, the coin's appeal, and the venue where it's sold. Generally, in today's market, a 1934 wheat penny in XF condition is valued between $5 and $20. While that might not seem like a fortune, it's a significant increase over its original face value of 1 cent. A few factors can influence the value of your 1934 Lincoln wheat penny. First, its overall appearance. Does it have a beautiful natural tone or any signs of damage like scratches or corrosion? Second, the coin's eye appeal, which refers to how visually attractive it is. A well-struck coin with a strong design will always command a higher price. If you're thinking about buying or selling a 1934 Lincoln wheat penny in extra fine condition, here are a few tips. For buyers, make sure to buy from reputable dealers or auction houses, and always consider getting the coin graded for peace of mind. For sellers, professional grading can often enhance the coin's value, especially if you believe your coin is on the higher end of the extra fine spectrum. In conclusion, the 1934 Lincoln wheat penny in extra fine condition may not be $1 million rarity, but it's a valuable piece of American history that can add depth to any collection. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, understanding the nuances of coin grading and market trends can help you appreciate the true worth of these timeless treasures. Next up, the 1980 Washington quarter dollar with a large date and a D mint mark in good condition. We'll explore its history, characteristics, and current market value. So, let's get started. The Washington quarter, first introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, has become a staple of American coinage. Designed by John Flanagan, it features a portrait of Washington on the obverse and an eagle on the reverse. This design remained unchanged until the state quarters program began in 1999. Fast forward to 1980, and we find the quarter featuring a large date. This means that the numerals in the year are larger compared to the small date variety of the same year. This difference, though subtle, is an important detail for collectors who are interested in variations within the series. The D mint mark indicates that this coin was struck at the Denver Mint. Denver began using mint marks on their coins starting in 1980, so if you find a quarter from this year with D, you know it came from Denver. Let's talk about the condition of this coin. Our focus today is on the good condition or grade. Coins in good condition exhibit noticeable wear but are still recognizable. For the 1980 Washington quarter, this means that the design details are worn but not completely obliterated. The high points of the coin, such as Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers, show significant wear, but the overall design remains visible. In good condition, you can expect the details on the coin to be quite worn. For example, Washington's profile may be less defined and the lettering around the rim might be faint. The coin will have visible scratches and maybe some discoloration, but is still a complete piece with its essential features intact. So, what's the current market value for a 1980 Washington quarter dollar with a large date and D mint mark in good condition? Given its commonality, this coin generally holds a modest value. As of today, you can expect this quarter to be worth approximately $900,000 or more. The value can vary depending on a few factors. For example, if the coin is exceptionally well preserved within its grade, or if it shows particularly interesting features, it might command a slightly higher price. Conversely, coins that are more worn or have additional damage may be valued at the lower end of this range. If you're looking to buy or sell this coin, it's always a good idea to check with local coin dealers or online auction sites for the most current prices. Coin values can fluctuate based on collector demand and market trends. For those collecting Washington quarters, having a 1980 with a large date and D mint mark is a great addition. Even though it might not be the most valuable coin, it is part of a larger series that many collectors aim to complete. If you're building a collection of quarters from specific years or mints, this coin is a significant piece. Additionally, consider looking for other interesting variations and error coins. Sometimes, coins with minor defects or unusual features can be quite valuable and are often sought after by collectors. To recap, the 1980 Washington quarter dollar with a large date and D mint mark in good condition typically has a value of around $950,000. It's a common coin but holds its place in the history of U.S. currency and can be a nice addition to any collection. Next up, the Lincoln Wheat Penny. Specifically, we'll focus on the 1958 Lincoln Wheat Penny in extremely fine condition. The Lincoln Wheat Penny, first minted in 1909, was designed by Victor David Brenner to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. These coins were minted until 1958, making them a beloved staple in American coinage. For over 50 years, these pennies were used in everyday transactions, yet some of them have become highly prized collector's items. 1958 marked the final year of the Lincoln Wheat Penny's production before it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959. While millions of these coins were minted, those in excellent condition, particularly in extremely fine condition, have captured the attention of collectors. In 1958, over 250 million pennies were minted in Philadelphia and nearly 875 million in Denver. This means that while the coin isn't exceedingly rare in lower grades, finding one in pristine or extremely fine condition is becoming increasingly difficult. So what exactly is extremely fine condition? A penny in EF condition shows minimal wear on the highest points, like Lincoln's cheekbones and the wheat stalks on the reverse. While there may be some light signs of handling, the details are still sharp and clear. EF typically falls between grades 40 and 45 on the coin grading scale. It's a step below about uncirculated, but still a highly respectable grade. Collectors specifically look for coins in this condition because they strike a balance between affordability and quality. Now, let's get to the burning question: what is the 1958 Lincoln Wheat penny worth in extremely fine condition in today's market? While coin values fluctuate based on demand, the general range is fairly well established. On average, a 1958 Lincoln Wheat penny in extremely fine condition is valued between $0.15 to $0.50. This range can vary slightly depending on the exact grade, market trends, and whether the coin is from the Philadelphia or Denver Mint. Next up, the 1974 Washington quarter dollar with a large date and no mint mark, specifically in extra fine condition. If you've got one of these in your collection or you're just curious about its value, you're in the right place. Let's dive in. The Washington quarter is a staple of American coinage, introduced in 1932 to commemorate George Washington's 200th birthday. Designed by John Flanagan, this coin features Washington's profile on the obverse and an eagle on the reverse. The design was consistent for many decades, making it a beloved coin among collectors. Now, focusing on the 1974 issue, this coin falls within a time of transition for the Washington quarter series. The 1974 quarter features a large date version, which is characterized by the noticeably larger digits in the year. Compared to the small date variety, this is a subtle but important detail for collectors. The lack of a mint mark indicates that this coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which is known for not marking its coins with mint mark during this period. So if your 1974 Washington quarter has no mint mark, it's definitely a Philadelphia Mint product. Now, let's talk about what it means for a coin to be in extra fine condition. Coins in extra fine condition show very little wear and maintain most of their original detail for quarters. This means that you'll see very minimal wear on high points, such as the hair and drapery on Washington's portrait and the eagle's feathers. The coin should also have a clear, well-defined design, with no major blemishes or discolorations. So, how does the 1974 Washington quarter in extra fine condition fare in today's market, given its status as a well-preserved example? This coin generally commands a premium over its face value. As of now, you can expect the value of an extra fine 1974 Washington quarter with a large date and no mint mark to range between $3 and $6. The price can vary based on a few factors. Higher grades of extra fine, such as EF40 or EF45, might fetch slightly higher prices, while lower grades within the extra fine range might be on the lower end of this spectrum. Additionally, the overall demand among collectors and current market conditions can influence the exact value. If you're considering buying or selling this coin, it's always a good idea to consult with a professional coin dealer or use reputable online resources for the most accurate and up-to-date valuations. Condition is key, and even small differences can affect the coin's worth. For those who enjoy the history and artistry of coin collecting, the 1974 Washington quarter is a great addition to any collection. Even though it's not a rare or highly valuable coin, its historical significance and unique design make it a cherished piece for many collectors. To sum up, the 1974 Washington quarter dollar with a large date and no mint mark in extra fine condition is valued between $4 and $8 in today's market. It's a fine example of mid-20th century American coinage that holds its place in numismatic history. Next up, the Lincoln Wheat penny, specifically the 1926 Lincoln Wheat penny in fine condition. How valuable is it in today's market? The Lincoln Wheat penny was first minted in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a president's face. The design, created by sculptor Victor David Brenner, became an instant classic and remains beloved by collectors to this day. But today, we're zeroing in on a specific year, -1926. This penny is a fascinating piece of history, and depending on its condition, it can be worth much more than just 1 cent. So, let's break it down. When it comes to coin collecting, condition is everything. A coin's value can change dramatically based on its grade. For a 1926 Lincoln Wheat penny in fine condition, we're talking about a coin that shows moderate wear on the high points, but with all the major details still visible. This isn't a perfect coin by any means, but it's certainly far from the worst. So what's the value of a 1926 Lincoln wheat penny in fine condition in today's market? Well, that depends on a few factors such as the mint mark, market trends, and even the specific buyer or seller you're dealing with. First, let's talk mint marks. The 1926 Lincoln wheat penny was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The ones minted in Philadelphia have no mint mark, while the Denver coins are marked with a D and the San Francisco coins with an S. Generally, coins with mint marks tend to be more valuable than those without, especially if they had lower production numbers. Philadelphia produced over 157 million pennies in 1926, Denver produced around 28 million, and San Francisco minted just under 5 million. Naturally, the fewer there are, the more valuable they become. So, what's the value? For a 1926 penny with no mint mark, in fine condition, you're looking at around $1 to $3 on the open market. Not bad for a penny, right? But if you have a 1926 D penny in fine condition, that can bump up to around $5 to $10. And if you're lucky enough to have a 1926 S penny in fine condition, you could be sitting on a coin worth anywhere between $50,000. So, if you have a 1926 Lincoln wheat penny and you're curious about its value, it might be worth getting it professionally graded. A small investment in grading could help you maximize your profit, especially if you're selling to a serious collector. But what if you're not looking to sell? Maybe you just want to add this piece of history to your collection. Well, the good news is that 1926 pennies are still relatively affordable, so they make a great addition to any collection without breaking the bank. And that wraps up our deep dive into the 1926 Lincoln wheat penny in fine condition. Whether you're buying, selling, or just holding onto one for sentimental reasons, this coin is a little piece of American history that can still pack a surprising punch in today's market. Next up, the 1966 Washington quarter dollar with a large date and no mint mark, especially if it's in dirty condition. Let's dive into what makes this coin interesting and what its value is in today's market. The Washington quarter, designed by John Flanagan, first entered circulation in 1932 to commemorate George Washington's 200th birthday. This design has remained largely unchanged, featuring Washington's profile on the obverse and an eagle with its wings spread on the reverse. But let's focus on the 1966 issue, particularly the large date variety. The 1966 Washington quarter was minted in the transition period just before the introduction of the bicentennial design in 1976, notably. The coin in question is part of a series where you'll find a large date version and a small date version. The large date variety is characterized by the digits in the date being noticeably larger than those on the small date version. The lack of a mint mark on this coin means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Philadelphia Mint quarters from this era don't carry a mint mark, which is something to keep in mind when identifying these coins. Now, let's talk about condition. The coin we're discussing today is in dirty condition. What do we mean by that? A coin in dirty condition typically shows significant signs of surface grime discoloration and possibly even corrosion or other forms of damage. The dirt or grime can obscure some of the coin's details, impacting its overall appearance. So how does this affect the coin's value in dirty condition? The 1966 Washington quarter is generally valued around its face value, or just slightly above it. For most collectors and numismatists, a coin in such condition doesn't hold much premium over the standard $500,000 or more. You might find it valued between $0.5550 and $600, depending on the extent of the dirt and how it affects the coin's appearance. Coins in dirty or less than ideal conditions don't usually fetch high prices because they lack the aesthetic appeal and finer details that collectors seek. However, if you're holding onto this coin and it's in particularly bad shape, it's important to note that cleaning it is generally not recommended. Cleaning can damage the coin further and reduce its value. If you're interested in preserving the coin's value, it's best to leave it as is. If the coin has unique characteristics or errors like a double die or an off-center strike that could make it more valuable, despite its dirty condition, consider having it professionally evaluated. For those of you who collect out of passion rather than profit, even a dirty 1966 Washington quarter can hold sentimental value. It's a piece of U.S. history, and every coin tells a story. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, every coin adds to the richness of your collection. So in summary, the 1966 Washington quarter, with a large date and no mint mark, in dirty condition, is generally worth between $847,000. It's not a high-value item, but it's still a notable part of American coinage history. Remember, coin collecting is as much about the journey and learning experience as it is about the monetary value. Next up, the 1938 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark, presented in very fine condition. If you're curious about the value of this particular coin in today's market and what makes it stand out, you're in the right place. Let's explore its details and current market value. The 1938 Lincoln wheat penny is part of the Lincoln wheat series, which was minted from 1909 to 1958. Designed by Victor D. Brenner, this coin features President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and 2 ears of wheat on the reverse. The 1938 penny was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which is why it does not have a mint mark. This year is notable for its stability during the Great Depression as the United States economy began to recover. In 1938, the Philadelphia Mint produced approximately 156 million Lincoln wheat pennies. While this is a substantial mintage, the condition of the coin can greatly impact its collectability. Coins from this era are often sought after by collectors, and the 1938 penny is no exception, especially in well-preserved conditions like very fine. To assess a coin's value, its condition is crucial. Coins are graded on a scale from mint state to various levels of wear, such as fine, very fine, and extra fine. Coin in very fine condition shows moderate wear but retains significant details. For the 1938 Lincoln wheat penny, this means the coin will have clear features in Lincoln's portrait and the wheat stalks on the reverse, with some wear visible on the high points, but not overwhelming. So, what's the market value of a 1938 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark in very fine condition? As of today, these coins typically range from $798,000. This range reflects the coin's condition, which is desirable to collectors seeking pieces with clear details and historical value. The price can fluctuate based on the coin's overall appearance and any unique features. Several factors can influence the value of a 1938 Lincoln wheat penny in very fine condition. The clarity of major details, such as the date, Lincoln's portrait, and the wheat stalks on the reverse, is essential. Coins with particularly sharp details and minimal wear might command a higher price within the very fine grade. Additionally, the coin's overall appearance and any unique characteristics can impact its market value. The 1938 Lincoln wheat penny is a significant piece of American history representing a time of recovery and growth after the Great Depression. Collectors appreciate this penny not only for its design, but also for its place in the historical context of the era. Coins in very fine condition are especially valued for their balance of wear and preservation, making them a prized addition to any collection. In summary, a 1938 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark in very fine condition can be a valuable and appealing piece for any collector. Its market value reflects its historical significance and excellent condition. Whether you're an experienced collector or just starting out, this penny offers a tangible link to an important period in American history. Next up, the 1998 Washington quarter dollar with a large date and a P mint mark in fine condition. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just curious about the value of your coins, this video is for you, so let's get started. The Washington quarter was first issued in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Designed by John Flanagan, this coin features Washington's portrait on the obverse and an eagle on the reverse. While the design remained the same for decades, it was part of a series that spanned a significant period in U.S. coinage history. Moving to the year 1998, this particular quarter is part of the later series in the Washington quarter program. What sets it apart is the large date variety. The large date refers to the larger numerals used for the year on this coin, which can be a key detail for collectors looking to complete a set with various date sizes. This quarter was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, denoted by the P mint mark. While Philadelphia often minted coins without mint mark, the 1998 quarter is marked with P, signifying its origin. Now, let's discuss what it means for this coin to be in fine condition, also known as on the Sheldon grading scale. Coins in fine condition exhibit moderate wear for the 1998 Washington quarter. This means that most of the major design details are still visible, but there's noticeable wear on high points and some flattening of the design. In fine condition, the coin's features like Washington's portrait and the eagle on the reverse are discernible. though not as sharp as in higher grades. The rims and inscriptions are generally intact, though they may be worn. The coin will have some scratches and minor discoloration, but retains its overall design integrity. So what's the current market value for a 1998 Washington quarter dollar with a large date and P mint mark in fine condition? Given the relatively high mintage of over 1.2 billion quarters that year, this coin is not particularly rare. However, it's still a nice piece for collectors. As of today's market, you can expect this coin to be valued around $1 to $2. The value can vary slightly depending on where you're buying or selling. Coins in fine condition generally have a lower value compared to those in higher grades, but they are still valued by collectors who need them to complete their sets. Market conditions and collector demand can also influence the price. If you're looking to buy or sell this coin, check online auction sites or consult with local coin dealers to get the most accurate and current prices. Coin values can fluctuate based on collector interest and market trends. If you're building a collection of Washington quarters, adding a 1998 with a large date and P mint mark is a great way to complete your series. Even though this coin might not be the most valuable, it holds historical significance and is part of the larger Washington quarter series. Additionally, consider keeping an eye out for other varieties and errors within the Washington quarter series. Sometimes, coins with unique features or slight defects can be quite valuable and are often sought after by collectors. To recap, the 1998 Washington quarter dollar with a large date and P mint mark in fine condition generally has a market value of around $4 to $8. While it's a common coin, it's still an important piece of American numismatic history and a valuable addition to any collection. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of the 1998 Lincoln penny. If you found this video helpful or interesting, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update on the world of coin collecting.